to navigate care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I say, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Cleary.
Happy Tuesday to everybody out there to the Ticketverse. This is the Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket, and we're brought to you by Wingstop. They have 3 Lincoln locations, 28th in Superior, 50th in O, and 29th in Pine Lake. Also a new location in Grand Island if you're interested in that. Also available on both DoorDash and Uber Eats if you don't want to go out to get your Wingstop. Had some Wingstop the other day. It's hard to stay away from that place.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Wingstop is so good. Shout out to Wingstop.
Chicken wings are probably my favorite food of all time. So
a chicken wing.
That's perfect for us. A little bit of stuff coming out of the press conference, Tuesday's press conference down at Memorial Stadium. We've got Nick Sandert down there, so you should be back with some of the audio, and we can certainly run through that throughout the remainder of the day on the station. But for us, we don't have audio. We have
quotes on the Twitters.
On the Twitter sphere. So that's what we're going to be running with to start with, just to get you your news coming out of camp. I thought the most interesting thing, and one of the things that we talk about often in the off season, that is now we know the answer to. The black shirts will be handed out just before or after the plane ride to Ireland. Either way, before the Northwestern game. Of course, there's been a debate over the years. Do you wait till they earn it? Do you give it to them and take it away if they don't earn it? How do you like this? How they're doing it this year before going to Ireland, or do you prefer if it was after the plane rides on the plane?
I honestly don't. I could care less when they hand them out. I do care that they do get handed out, and I love that. And the whole, should it be the starters? Should it just be people that earn it? I don't know. I don't know if it should be the entire starting defense or if it should just be people that have, played well enough to earn it. But what I do know is that none of us are seeing what's going on in practice. So to say, for anybody not in the program, in the know, to say you can't hand these out until these guys earn it, I do believe that 4 weeks of fall camp and whatever they've done before that, spring practice, the spring game, all of the work in between there that they've been putting in. I don't know about you, but that might constitute earning it. So if they want to hand it out before the first game, if they want to hand it out after the first game, if they want to hand it out after the fourth game, whatever, as long as they get handed out, because, it's a very important tradition here in Nebraska. I don't care when it happens. I care that it does happen. And I don't really know how I feel about who all earns it, but I do agree with if you're not playing up to par, up to snuff, up to how you've shown that you can play, that you should have it taken away. I mean, it's happened before. People have had their black shirts taken away. You can't just, all of a sudden just, all right, you're a black shirt for the entire season, no matter what happens. I mean, if you lose your starting spot, you can't be a black shirt anymore. I mean, you could be a backup black shirt. I mean, there are some that get that, and you've seen it in previous seasons. But if you were a starter and then you get demoted to a backup, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you have to re-earn the black shirt. But again, this is coming from me, who hasn't played collegiate football, especially not at a Division I level. So these are just words in the wind. Well,
but I mean, it's also, I think that too, the argument over black shirts being earned. And by the way, I get what you're saying, but the idea when Bo Pelini was here at times was to make them earn them through the game. So play 2 to 3 good games of defense and you get your black shirts. The danger in doing is that maybe you never hand them out. There were years where they didn't do well at the beginning of the year, just waited till a midseason game where they played well and then gave it to them. And but ultimately, I love the black shirt tradition more than anything. I think it sets Nebraska apart, especially if you're being recruited as a defender. If we could blow up the black shirt tradition even more, I think that we should do it as much as we can. The alternate uniforms. I've always thought that it'd be a good idea to kind of have the bone sleeves to maybe give out to somebody.
That would be awesome. I don't know if you can.
I don't know if
that'd be awesome.
But I think that would be pretty cool. If you get a black shirt, you can wear the bone sleeves. But in any case, I think we prop it up. While saying all of that, you've had 5-6 straight losing seasons or whatever it is, 5 straight losing seasons. And so there's problems all around the program that need to be identified, needs to be fixed. Of course, you've had bad defenses in 9-10 win years or whatever. But it's just it feels like it lost a little bit of its luster, I guess, and especially outside of locally. We still pay attention to it, we still care, but as far as like, am I going to really have an extremely hot take on when the black shirts are handed out for a unit that just hasn't been dominant? That's what the black shirts of old were. It was like one of the best defenses in the nation. I think that the defense might be the better side of the ball this year. I think that it was the better side of the ball last year. But I don't think that it's necessarily still kind of up to that black shirt par that you start really dissecting who's getting a black shirt and who's not. I think there's a lot of guys that you could probably name, 7 or 8 that you're pretty confident are going to get black shirts, and we'll see who wins the other position battles. But I do think that, like you, I think you leave it to a minimum at first, especially now that they've added this defense of kind of their base package of having edge rushers and a nickel. It's less like, well, we got these different packages that we throw out there. If that's your base defense, that makes a little bit more sense. So I hope they, 11, 12, 13, that's about what I'd start the season with. And then
like I understand, like I understand handing it out to the starters on defense because they've earned their starting positions. They're the starting Nebraska defense. You think of just a lot of people outside of Nebraska just think of the entire defense as the black shirts, where it's a specific group of individuals. I mean, back in the 90s, the entire defense was that specific group of individuals, so it was like that back then. But nowadays, there's a specific group that play above and beyond, and those are the black shirts. So I think it could be one of those things where you have your starters, but then you have however many guys. Maybe it's the entire starting defense. Maybe it's 6 guys who you as the coaching staff believe have played above and beyond the Call of Duty to become a starter, and those are your black shirts. And you as a player look at those guys who have gone above the Call of Duty to get to where they are, and you realize I have to work this much harder to get to where this person is, because if everybody worked as hard as whatever person is a black shirt, then this defense could take that next step. And if you get to that level, then you get that black shirt. And it could just, it is like a badge of honor. So seeing somebody who has worked that much harder than you have and realizing I have to do this to get to that level, and then you earn your black shirt, could be another thing that the defensive coaches or, the coaching staff does. But I don't know how they're going to hand them out. I don't know who's all going to earn it. And, we had a question asking, who do we think is going to earn it? I don't even want to speculate because it's just wild.
Yeah, and you can kind of speculate on the starting roster. We got a little bit more clue on some of those things today, but the depth chart and then starting there. And I also, I now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I don't want to downplay the honor that it is to get a black shirt, because we've seen these videos in the last couple of yeyears, guys in tears. It
means a lot.
It's a big deal to a lot of these guys, especially if you've been in the program, you've been looking up. Colton Feist, if he gets a black shirt, that's a special moment.
Cool, buddy.
For a guy that's been working, an in-state guy that's been working, maybe never was projected to be in the rotation the way that he is expected to be now. That would be a special moment. So I think that there's, and even a guy like Luke Reimer, he's had a black shirt before, but how cool is that for a walk-on that, originally a walk-on that, you don't take that stuff for granted. So I can't wait for the videos. I think as far as like presentation, it might be kind of cool to do it in Ireland. I don't think you've ever necessarily handed out black shirts in Ireland. I think
black shirts in a different country.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
I bet you no matter, even if he's earned it, I think he's earned it all 3 years he's been here, maybe just the 2. Garrett Nelson, I bet he tears up. Like, yeah. It means it's something different to somebody who is as into the program as Garrett Nelson is. I still don't know if this is true, but I heard during his recruiting, cycle when he was being recruited that he would fall asleep to like highlight videos of the 90s Huskers teams. I don't know if that's awesome. True, but I heard that. And if that is true, that's wild. Like this, it means something different to somebody like that. So no matter how many times he earns a black shirt, I feel like it's still an emotional moment for somebody like that.
Yeah, I think it will be. And I do. I look forward to the video. Obviously, we all want Nebraska to play up to par. Everybody's got their win projection total ranging from 4 to 9, and so it's
Some crazy people have 12.
well, yeah. I was talking about people that within that aren't just dreaming.
That aren't drowning in Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows? College football's crazy. It could happen. I just, it's a hard projection. That's hard. That's a hard.
Look, man, I don't know about
hard
that.
to believe. You might not have some road.
You go from 3 wins to 12. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's coach of the decade.
But you remember 2012 Notre Dame? I mean, they weren't coming off a 3-9 season or whatever, but they're just kind of sliding by people. They weren't a great team.
Yeah,
you don't. I mean, you have to give credit to whatever. And by the way, my Teo documentary coming out tonight. Speaking of 2012 Notre Dame.
Speaking of invisible girlfriends.
Right. I'm not saying that it wasn't a great team, but it wasn't, that next level type of team that you think of an all-time type of team, even at Notre Dame.
Yeah. But it's different to go from, sliding by and not being great to being great and going from a bad team to being great.
I get that. I'm just saying, I guess I'm far from me to be the one that projects 12-0. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get you.
I'm just saying, this is a team that was close. I don't think that there's a game on this year's schedule. And some people throw out Michigan in Ann Arbor. That'd be difficult.
The more
other
I look
people
at Michigan,
just give Oklahoma the loss. I don't think there's any game. You played both those teams very close last year.
Yeah.
I think they were maybe better than they were, better last year than they're going to be this year. And I think Nebraska, I mean, the hope is at least that you're moving forward. Again, I'm not projecting it. You got so much change here. A lot of stuff that would have to just be the perfect combination of this huge science project that they've got going on. But I don't think that there's a monster on the schedule. I don't think that there are too many in college football. I think Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama are on there. If you don't have one of those teams on your schedule,
there isn't like you will lose this game
right
on the schedule. Game on this schedule. How do I say it? There isn't a you will lose this game situation. Here we go. On Nebraska's schedule. Like they have a bunch of games where it's I don't know if you win this, but it's not just pencil that in. Just write that in permanent marker as a loss.
Right.
It's a lot of, semi-permanent marker where you can kind of erase it.
Very good. Very good.
I didn't know where I was going with that one. I was going to say, pencil, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
Well, and I think to the opposite end of that.
Don't shake your head, Nick.
At this point, there's not a lot of games that you are going to permanent marker wins either. I mean,
yeah.
No.
There's like 2.
Yeah. None of the Big Ten games. I don't think you can.
No.
Not at this
I
point.
don't care what anybody says. Northwestern and Rutgers are still Division I teams.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't permanent marker those.
Indiana.
Yeah. That is also a Division I team.
That's a Division I team. Also, we heard this from practice today too. Isaac Gifford, Chris Kolarovic, and Jevin Wright would probably have the 3 different oars if you're starting a nickel right now. So they're trying to figure out their starting group. Maybe all those guys get black shirts. We'll see. But I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's you've got some solid candidates there, but I've been thinking all offseason, as much as we are excited about the new guys coming in, JoJo's tough to replace. A lot of people around the nation are doing this nickel thing. I mean, it's a new part of basically football is to have a little bit more positionless football. JoJo wasn't just like kind of good at it. He was like represented as an All-American. People
really
loved it. And part of that, I think, is because Nebraska was on national TV. You saw him have particularly good games, against Ohio State and Oklahoma and that sort of thing. But I think that's a very underrated fill-in position. I don't think Nebraska, and it's no problem from Isaac Gifford or Kolarovic or Wright. It's not like I'm saying they're bad football players. I think JoJo's just tough to replace.
That nickel spot is just so many different positions wrapped up into one. Like you have to be able to stop the run like a linebacker. You have to be able to cover the pass like a safety. You have to be able to run from sideline to sideline. Like you have to do so many different things. You have to be able to rush the quarterback. So many different things in that one position that JoJo did at a pretty damn high level, that finding somebody to just step into that spot and be able to replace him is going to be I don't want to say impossible because anything is possible, but it's going to be extremely hard. So that's why that's why you have, 3 guys who could possibly play that nickel spot, because maybe they're all 3 of them are really good at one aspect of the nickel spot. Maybe one of them's really good at covering passes. One's really good at rushing the passer. The other one's really good at stopping the run. Like, the ability to do all of that in one player is rare, and JoJo did that at a high enough level to see himself as a second string on an NFL team. Granted, it's the preseason, but still second string as an undrafted free agent on an NFL team during the preseason. That's how good he did all of that. So the ability to find a nickel to replace JoJo Domann is going to be hard, and you have 3 ors on the depth chart more than likely. So it's going to be really interesting, and seeing who they roll out there and how many different iterations of that nickel, how many different people slide into that nickel in different situations in a game is going to be really interesting, because that might kind of give you an idea of what they believe each person is better at. If you've got a long third down, they bring somebody in to rush the passer or cover the pass. You're going to be able to see, oh, they have more faith in this person in this situation. They have more faith in this person in this situation. I don't know if you're going to see one of those 3 play the entire game in every situation.
Well, and how often is the nickel package being used? Because as a proposed, as opposed to like the traditional 4-3, 4 that you send back there with 2 safeties and 2 corners. Because if that, if it's being embraced by football this altogether, the nickel position. So it makes more sense. But at the same time, if you don't have that guy, you don't force that guy. If you're better in, the traditional base defense more often than not, then maybe you stick to it. But we'll kind of see how that plays out. Or maybe you go with the traditional nickel. Before this position's kind of taking it over, the nickel used to mean the 3rd corner.
Yep.
The dime was the 4th corner. So you could see, a cornerback back there. By the way, they also said about they feel comfortable with about 4 or 5 safeties. So the nickel position and the safety position, a lot of ors and a lot of.
How do you feel about the or?
At times it can be good, but I think more often than not, you're looking for a guy to step out of the or. You're looking for a guy to take command of that position and play his way out of it. And you know what? For as much as we want to be able to have that separation and see that separation in fall camp and ultimately have to make a decision there's some battles where there's like both these guys are pretty solid and neither one of them stood out. We're going to have to start one. We're going to play the other. So I don't think you necessarily have to, like you said kind of earlier, is mark something down in pen or and maybe the black shirt discussion kind of confuses this topic too, because do you hand out all the ors black shirts? Do you hold off any black shirts on these guys? But
if somebody gets a black shirt and they're listed as an or, I don't think that's an or, right? Like that person is above whoever they're listed as an or with, if that other person doesn't earn a black shirt. Like that's the only thing that makes sense. And I mean, it kind of leads me into this question. I want to hear everybody's thoughts. 402-464-5685, Honda League and Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. The or discussion, does it make you feel better, like thinking you have 2 or 3 guys who are capable of taking that starting spot? Or would it make you feel better if you just have that number 1? There is no or. It's just that person is a starter, cut and dry. It's this guy. Does that make you feel better to have 1 guy or to have multiple people that you believe could step up into that spot? I mean, it's because for me, I want to have that 1 guy, because having multiple people, you want to say, oh, it's good because that's competition. But at the same time, are they all really that good? Or is it just that, nobody is, as you said, taking that next step to solidify themselves as that number 1? Is it just, you have a bunch of players and you don't know who you're going to start?
Well, to me, it's just me. I just read it as like, you got to play it out. You got to see how it works. I think the running backs, you have a high chance of having 2 or 3 ors in the running back depth chart when we come out, and who they start versus who gets the majority of the carries in the 3rd drive versus the 5th drive versus the end of the game. Who knows?
Running back by committee thing that people don't like very much,
right?
Even though I don't mind it.
Again, if you don't have a standout, it could still do some damage. You could get guys that maybe are rhythm running backs not getting in the rhythm, but I don't know if I just don't think you have to force that. We saw throughout the year, and maybe it has hurt Scott Frost over his tenure, is not picking a running back right away. I think or picking the wrong one, quite frankly, has kind of been a problem. But I don't know if Vermeer was ready for that role before he took it. You know what I mean? I think that sometimes you just have to let these things play out. You feel much better when you have a bona fide returning stud. Don't get me wrong.
So far down on the depth chart, though. Like he was the 5th string running back, and 3 games into the season, you're like, you know what? You're gonna start now. He did pretty well. Yeah, I can't fault him. He did really well for being thrust into that position.
Here's a question that might be more intriguing than you might think. Will Vermeer Johnson finish with more receptions or more carries?
Receptions. I think they're gonna use him more as like a slot or just like a running back out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I saw somebody, I don't remember, I believe it was a writer, posted something about how Brian Applewhite or Mark Whipple wanted to use him in more of a Brian Westbrook kind of vein.
Yeah, nice throwback. Carl Buckhalter still should have got more carries in that backfield. I'll die with that one. We'll take a quick break here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We'll be right back with more Husker talk on 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm ahead of my time, sometimes years out, so the powers that be won't let me get my ideas out, and that make me want to get my...
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles, but now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to buy, bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order your Wingstop online at 28th and Superior, 50th and O Street, and 29th and Pine Lake. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Saturday, August 20th from 10 to 2 at the Husker Marriott, 333 South 13th Street. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have. They have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson will be in the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are rocking out here on the Ticket Water Cooler, and welcome back. Hopefully you're enjoying your lunch break. This is our new time slot. We'll be on every day from 12 to 1 during your lunch hour, so let us know what we can do to make you come hang out with us. That's what the Ticket Water Cooler is all about.
You know where you should go for lunch? Wingstop.
That's right.
Delicious wings at Wingstop. Go there right now. Get yourself some wings. Tell them Rico sent you. You won't get anything, like if you tell, but if you tell them Vershawn sent you, if you tell them the captain sent you, you might get one wing. If you tell them Rico sent you, they'll be like, who's Rico?
You had their Cajun fried corn yet?
I have. It's actually really good.
That looks pretty darn good. I need to get into some of that. Louisiana Voodoo fries, too. I guess they've got
delicious. I'm stuck between the Louisiana rub wings and the lemon pepper wings. They're both just
lemon
delicious.
Pepper is so good.
Just delicious.
Yes.
I can't get over it. I used to just get the hickory smoked barbecue. And then I realized that it made my hands really messy. So when I would eat it before I'd go, I'm like, I gotta wash my hands. I gotta make sure I don't want to get barbecue on our board. So I went with the dry rub and the lemon pepper. And oh my gosh, it's delicious. I can't get enough.
That's generally what I go with. I love wings. They're my favorite food. I also get buffalo quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
can't go wrong there.
But you have to get traditional. If you get boneless, you're just eating sauced up chicken nuggets.
That's right. Except for at Wingstop, they're delicious.
They are delicious, but they're still just sauced up chicken nuggets. I don't look. I love wings from a lot of different places. Wingstop is delicious, but I'm just telling you, boneless wings are just sauced up chicken nuggets. Don't do it.
They might be, but they're also still good.
They are. They're not as good.
I'm a bone-in guy. Yeah.
They're not as good.
Not nearly as good. When I say my favorite food are wings, I'm talking about bone-in.
I'm talking about traditional. I ain't little chicken nuggies.
But it's hard for. I mean, I like chicken nuggets and I like boneless.
I do
chicken
enjoy
as well.
chicken. You know what? I think I like chicken nuggets more than I like boneless wings.
Do you really?
Fact. There you go.
That's fair enough.
I don't know.
Someone out the text line says, Rico, you should just rock a mustache.
No, I did that in high school.
Did you?
And because I couldn't grow the rest of it. So it was just the mustache. And I look back and I'm like, Why did anybody let me do this?
You know, you could do handlebars pretty well.
Oh, I could. I definitely could.
Yeah.
It just nice little
Maybe
come
you
down,
should
and
do
then just
that.
like leave this a little bit,
Yeah.
and just like pull it out, and just kind of have it
braid 'em or
little hang down
something.
there.
Yeah.
Like I could do that. It's starting to get closer to connecting. Still just patchy on the cheeks though.
Yeah.
I gotta shave it down a little. I gotta get some of those like beard oil rub things and
Oh,
just
yeah.
start just rubbing my cheeks with it so I can get a full beard.
I think that helps. I got some beard oil.
I keep telling my wife I want to get like a James Harden beard, and she's like, no.
Oh, that'd be cool.
She's like, no.
Yeah. And then you've got the hair. You could do the whole thing.
Exactly. I could be James Harden.
Well, well, no, you
I could.
No.
I could. Minus the basketball skills, but I could look just like James Harden.
Well, that's a pretty,
just
one.
like a shorter James Harden. I could
think
get
that-
the pudge going though.
I think that was Nick. Nick called me, or was it Nick that said me and VJ are basically the same person? I said, except for the whole athleticism.
No,
and
same person.
career type of thing.
Same person.
Other than
Don't know what
that,
you're talking about.
maybe. I also wanted to promote this. You guys, Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame is an incredible place. You got to go check it out. And today, Eric Strickland and Nathan Brennan will be there for On the Block from 2 to 4. It's free admission, so you don't have to worry about paying anything. You could see Eric Strickland along with a lot of other Hall of Famers, like stuff hanging up there. Tons of interactive screens and displays as well. It is at Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street, or just north of Haymarket Park, excuse me, at 500 Charleston Street. So go check that out.
Do you
That'll be
think they're
pretty
going to
cool.
try and post up in front of wherever Eric Strickland's Hall of Fame stuff is?
Oh, yeah, they should. If they're not, they're doing it wrong.
Post them in front of somebody else's stuff. No, go post them in front of Eric Strickland's stuff.
Yeah.
Go check it out, and you'll have yourself a good time.
Strick should have like a whole wall. I think.
Unfortunately, I am not in the Hall of Fame.
You're not in the Hall of Fame, but you are a former Nebraska athlete.
I am.
High school athlete.
I am a former Nebraska track and field state championship runner-up 2 times.
You're like Roger Craig. You were just left out of the Hall of Fame. You're waiting for the call.
I should be there.
Yeah.
2-time runner-up.
Well, 2-time.
2-time.
That's right.
Not 3-time, 2-time.
You start toting that around. I
Yeah,
like that.
I'm the 2-time.
A couple other things that came out of practice today. Not a huge news dump today, but still
Not
some
really.
interesting stuff. Devin Drew, according to Coach Shenander, has, of course, the defensive coordinator, been pretty amazing during his short camp there. That's great to hear because Devin Drew, to me, was a guy, and until they had this planned out. So this is more of us on the media and the fan side where you kind of pencil him in as a starter.
Mhm.
They knew he wasn't going to get in till August 5th or whatever. It ended up being August 8th, but just not a whole lot of camp time. And he's a guy, I mean, when we talk about quarterbacks, I always say they went and got a starter out of the portal.
Mhm.
I like Stephon Wynn. I like Nash Hutmacher. I like some of the guys, Colton Feast, that are there. They need a starter. They need some starting experience on the defensive line. That's what they got Devin Drew, a starter out of the portal at Texas Tech. But to get back into football shape and kind of have it all ready to roll, it sounds like things are going. I don't know. I mean, it's still out there. We don't know. I don't know if I expect him to start necessarily against Northwestern, but I think
I mean,
fairly soon.
I was talking to Nick, not last week because I wasn't here last week, 2 weeks ago, about they had said that Devin Drew should be here soon was the exact quote. And I said if he got here that following Wednesday, which he did, I would feel a lot more comfortable with the amount of camp time that he's going to get. And I could see him playing. Significant isn't the exact word that I want to use, but I'm going to use significant, like a decent amount of snaps against Northwestern. I don't expect him to start. I don't expect him to see an extended amount of time because, as you said, he's getting back into football shape. I'm sure he, as a Division I athlete, that he kept himself in good enough shape to be able to come in here and compete. But getting back into that practice, that football shape is just different. It's like you're in shape for one sport, but you go to play another sport and you feel like you're out of shape. It's the different movements just kind of get to you. So after Northwestern, I expect him to probably take that starting role, but that first game, we'll see him a decent amount, but I don't think we'll get an extended amount of Devin Drew against Northwestern out in Dublin.
Yeah, I don't know if we will, especially obviously if the game kind of gets a little bit out of hand. You'll see a little bit more of him, but that'll be kind of interesting there. What do you think? Who do you think the starters are at safety? Because they did, again, they said about 4 to 5 guys could play there. I think maybe similar to Devin Drew, it might take some of the newcomers, the Deshaun Singleton, a minute to get there.
I think it's going to be Buford,
Yeah.
who I think he was at corner first and made the switch to safety, or maybe it was at safety the whole time. But I mean, they cross train regardless. So I think it's going to be Buford and Farmer.
Yeah, that's my
I mean, Miles Farmer, one of the more experienced ones back there in terms of playing at Nebraska.
Yeah. When he had that pick against Ohio State, I thought we were going to win.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody. That's what I think about every time I think of Miles Farmer. Is like, yeah, we were that.
Wasn't
close.
it his freshman year? He like played in a role for like one game or like a half and had like 2 picks.
Yeah,
that was Miles Farmer, right?
Yeah, and then got hurt.
He should have returned one for a touchdown, but he got caught at like the 5 or something.
Yeah,
that was Miles Farmer. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's he's more of a cover rangy kind of
he's
safety.
Lengthy, that's for sure.
I hope he can come up and hit, because that's what you saw out of the 2 safeties that you had last year. And although, I mean, you had a couple, big plays, couple interceptions back there, and I believe Miles Farmer is going to be really good on that end of things. But in terms of run stopping and coming up and shutting things down as that last line of defense, I guess we'll see what we have in the 2 new safeties starting back there.
Yeah, and maybe, it might be some different guys there, but it might be more of instead of 2 hard hitters, and that was nice to have with Deontay Williams and Markel Dismuke last year, but you might kind of get more to the traditional free safety, strong safety rule. Miles Farmer does kind of feel more like the free safety, ball hawk type of safety, where Marquise Buford might be more of kind of the tackling machine, getting in the right place. So we'll kind of see how that plays out, the different lineups and combinations that they can throw out there. It seems like that's still a job out there for the taking. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Special teams standouts, according to Coach Bill Bush, have been Chris Kolarevic and Vermeer Johnson. Of course, we hear all about Vermeer Johnson, so that's no surprise. But throw Kolarevic in there now, who is still battling for that nickel position. At least you'll see him out there on the field and special teams. Bill Bush loves him.
Vermeer Johnson hype train for any type of returns. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what he can do. If he's even a return man, because VJ and Nick talked to Bill Bush a couple weeks ago, and he said that Vermeer was front line on kickoff. He wasn't returning. He was up there blocking. So, I mean, just to see Vermeer out there and to see what he does, because as you know, he was one of the better pass blocking running backs that we had last year. So to see, regardless of what he's doing on special teams, is going to be interesting. Chris Kolarevic, probably kickoff running down, tackling people, punt running down, tackling people. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Tackling machine.
And it'll be good to see him, find some sort of role, because he did come in with a little bit of hype, but wasn't able to find that at linebacker. Dropped a lot of weight to move to nickel. So hopefully we kind of see that play out for him. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, should the college football playoff championship be played in the Rose Bowl every year? Kirk Herbstreit thought that should be the case. You already heard Rico's answer. We'll talk about that next year on the Ticket Water Cooler, 93.7 The Ticket. Jake Bachman here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Solarion. We're always trying to grow and try new things in life, and maybe this year is a chance to learn about how you can participate in a research study with Solarion. I've helped with their studies for many years and keep going back for many reasons. First off, the staff always treats me well, and they're really knowledgeable and informative, which gives me the comfort to keep going back. And it's up to you on how frequently you participate. Whether you're male or female, if you're at least 19 years of age, you may be eligible. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Swing for the fences with single-game tickets to see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond. The Salt Dog season is stacked with reasons to spend your summer at Haymarket Park. Get a free general admission ticket when you donate 3 non-perishable food items on Triple Play Tuesdays. Eat $2 Fairbury brand dogs on Wiener Wednesdays. Score drink specials on Thirsty Thursdays. Then win your weekend with Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days presented by Casey's. Get tickets at saltdogs.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Allo means business. Allo means local business. Allo means big business. Allo means small business. No matter your business, if you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation. Symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Join Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan this Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park. Admission is free, and you can check out the city's coolest hidden gem and learn a lot, too. That's Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. with On the Block at the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame at 500 Charleston Street, just north of Haymarket Park.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility today with an afternoon high of around 85 and a southeast wind at 15. Cloudy tonight with areas of showers possible. A low of 65. We'll continue with that chance of showers tomorrow and be much cooler with a high of 74. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler, getting through your lunch break here on 93.7 The Ticket, talking some Husker football, some football at large. As we round up the show, I wanted to get to a few different topics outside of the Husker realm. Kirk Herbstreit said the Rose Bowl should be the permanent national title game site. Says Pasadena is the Mecca of college football. Let's treat it as such. Rico, you already said you're not really into that one.
No. Since when has Pasadena become the Mecca of college football?
It's the Rose Bowl.
I don't care.
It's the most famous bowl game.
It's the granddaddy of them all.
Hey.
I don't care.
When Keith Jackson said it was the granddaddy of them all, I believe.
Shout out to Keith Jackson, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rose Bowl is cool, But no, you're not going to host a national championship at the Rose Bowl every single year.
Can I get a Brent Musburger shout out too? I liked when he did the Rose Bowls.
I saw a video of Brent Musburger, and people were like, remember when Brent Musburger used to just like talk about players like wives or girlfriends just on like live television? And I was like, yep, Brent used to do that.
Brent liked him some co-eds, college age girls, didn't he? He also liked betting. I loved that about Brent.
Yeah.
Because you could tell when it would like flip at the end, he lost some money. You could
I'm
tell
like,
when he lost his
Brent.
money.
But no, don't play it in Pasadena every year. You have so many different options, so many cool options to play the national championship. You don't need to lock it into one place every single year. That's dumb. And of course, Kirk Herbstreit wants it in California because that means that he'll get to call a game in California in February.
Well, and then the other thing is that he's a Big Ten guy traditionally. That's one thing that Nebraska fans throw in. UCLA and UCLA will get it, I guess, but Rutgers and Maryland, just that love of the Rose Bowl.
Ask UCLA how great the Rose Bowl is. They don't care.
They play there all the time.
Yeah, they don't care. It lost its luster. It's just a UCLA home game at the Rose Bowl. Nobody cares. That's dumb. Play it at the Falcon Stadium. It's better. It's cooler.
So they've got the location set up in the next couple of years. It'll be Los Angeles this upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
Houston the next year.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Beautiful.
The year after that,
Place
and then
is awesome.
Miami.
Yeah, Orange Bowl. There you go. I'm down with that.
Around. I don't have a problem moving around. It would be
Sugar Bowl in Atlanta, whatever bowl, Cotton Bowl. Well, no, not the Cotton. The whatever bowl is played at Jerry World. Is there a bowl played at Jerry World yet?
I believe so. I can't think of what it would be though.
Jerry World's nice. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's futuristic. It's
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't win in Las Vegas. You play a national championship in Vegas in the spaceship that is the Raiders Stadium.
Well, just with all the changes in college football, would it be nice to have something that
I don't need
can
permanent.
count on? It's going to be a permanent location.
No, I like change.
You like change.
I like change.
There you go.
I like not knowing what's happening. It's great.
I mentioned this a little bit earlier. The Monte Teo documentary is out today, I believe, on Netflix. You can check that out.
Speaking of not knowing what's happening,
I still don't understand because the just the previews for that, it's kind of been framed like he still doesn't know what's going on. It's like, dude, you got us into this mess.
Yeah.
What is it?
You knew what you were doing.
You got to be the one. Yeah.
Like, how does he go about creating the fake girlfriend story and is just like, yeah, nobody will figure out. Like,
Well, I get that he got catfished, but at the same time, if your grandma dies, don't lump in somebody you never met. You're not dating somebody if you've never seen them. If you never even FaceTimed, don't create a national story that your girlfriend died. That's not your girlfriend.
No, that's just a person that's a person that you believe you're in a romantic relationship with. But no, come on.
But apparently, and I guess I shouldn't knock anybody's relationships, but I will tell you this: be careful because this can happen. But I understand long-term relationships. I understand, maybe reaching out and connecting with somebody. But I wouldn't have said anything. And obviously, in hindsight, he probably wouldn't have said anything either. They've also got the catfish person, the person that catfished on the documentary as well. So, did you ever watch Catfish, by the way? Yeah, that's
show
pretty
was
good.
wild.
Show. Yeah, pretty crazy.
This show is dumb. I love it. I love it. I love how dumb it is.
I love
because you're sitting there and this person's just like, yeah, I sent this person, thousands of dollars, and every time I try to call them, their phone is broken. When I try to FaceTime them, they say their camera doesn't work. But we message all the time on Facebook or WhatsApp, or we text all the time, and we send Snapchat messages. It's not even a Snapchat. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how are you that dumb that you don't realize that this is happening? What? Like, it's just like, yeah, have you tried to FaceTime? Yeah, I tried, but they said their camera was broken. Oh, their camera's been broken for 2 years? That's okay. Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Somebody off the text line says they were catfished from a girl in Indiana. See, it can happen. It can happen. I believe you. I just wouldn't start sending money or saying that you're like in love.
I'm in love. We're getting married.
Propose or anything.
No,
Maybe just hold off on that.
Because then you meet him and it's your best friend. It's just like, bro, it was a joke at first, and then we just kept going.
I do love those shows that have the same premise, though. It's just like it's the same episode on repeat. It's just different characters. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's just like, this is wild. There was one where it was like, just a friend that was just like, I don't know what happened. We just kept going. I'm like, that is just why. And you like talk to this person all the time about this relationship that you're in, and they're like, yeah, it's crazy. Wow, this person really loves you.
And so their friend. That'd be weird too, to like be the catfish. I mean, would you ever be interested in acting like you're somebody
Would
else?
I ever be interested in getting money from a stranger? Yes.
Yeah. All you have to do is say some sweet nothing.
All I have to do is
be a
pretend that
female.
I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably do it. I don't want to. That's a lot of work.
That's what I'm thinking. It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I'm married. I got kids. I don't have time to catfish anybody.
Hey, again,
What do you want me to do?
I don't knock anybody's hustle. That's what they got.
If that's how you make your money, I mean, more props to you. I feel like there's other ways to do it, but whatever.
Yeah. Scamming people. Maybe that's the way to do it. That'll wrap it up here for the Ticket Water Cooler. Of course, the happy hour coming up next. We usually do a crossover, but hey, Rico, you're going to be on the happy hour.
I know this is a crossover.
Yeah, this is the crossover.
You're welcome.
The whole show's a crossover.
I know, it's fantastic.
So it works perfectly. And Nick was actually out at practice as well, so that will help. He'll be able to tell you what he heard out there, maybe have some audio as well. But that'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. Once again, brought to you by
Wingstop.
That's right, Wingstop. Go out and get yourself some Wingstop. I'll be done. I'm done for the year. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe I'll podcast a little bit. But, after that, I'm leaving. Then I'll head to Wingstop and just have a great day. You are going to stick around for happy hour talking about Husker football.
I am. It's
All
going
right.
to be great, I think. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. That's how it goes. Of course, we got our brand new lineup here on the ticket. And one more reminder to go out to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame today for On the Block from 2 to 4. We'll see you tomorrow on the Ticket Water Cooler. Rico will be up next with the happy hour.